All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm gonna work on some junk. This handle's split, but the hammerhead itself looks brand new. It literally wasn't used hardly at all. This one's the same way. This one I think is brand new. I don't know how or why. Doesn't matter. I have these two hammer handles that we bought all this stuff in a lot from an online estate sale. Literally have dollars in this, like less than $2 a piece and everything, or less than that. So I am going to make these handles fit for these ball peen hammerheads. Clean them up, make them look good. Got a guy in the shop, a new guy in the shop, that he's needing tools, so he did buy this stuff anyways. He bought, he paid $40 for the box, and it was a bunch of hammers in it and a bunch of oddball stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's, I hope I can get this out. I wanna save that. Probably gonna have to drill that out. Get a drill bit and see what I get. All right, doing this on the cheap. I'm trying to save the metal shim in there. Let's do it this way. See if I can knock it out. I'm sure there's better ways of doing it. I'm rednecking this, and I'm definitely rednecking this bad. Well, that's a weird shim. It break? I gotta get a punch and punch it out from the other way. All right, let me knock the chisel out the other way. I can get this out. This is a weird, I've never seen one like that before. Huh. All right, just tapped it out, no big deal. Took another chisel and just tapped it out. It didn't even touch, it just popped right out. Shim, the only thing I don't know if I've got any smaller shims. I may have to put this together and go back and get another shim. Oh well, let's put these on the wire wheel and clean them up. They might have a brand, they may not. And then I'll scrape these down with a razor blade before I go trying to fit them for the hammer. Wonder if I can keep the slide. I can probably, oh wait a minute, there's a shim in that one. Check that out. I'm gonna leave the shim in there when I shape it, and then I'll get it out of there. Okay. Go to the wire wheel. Alright guys, this is cleaned it up. It's a Ward's Master Quality. Montgomery Ward's had I think they had 3 lines of tools, and Master Quality was their better line of tools. I can't remember who made tools for Montgomery Ward's. I have to look it up. They made tools for a couple of different companies. Good quality. You can see the casting marks are really good. Someone went from the factory, cleaned it up, compared to this one. This one's no name, no nothing on it. Chinese, I'm sure. And you can see a difference in the casting and the quality. But it doesn't matter. These hammers are not, these aren't hammers that you would, you know, take rotors off of a car or bending some pipe or working some metal. I guess smaller stuff you could, you know, if you're making small like decorative roses and things like that with steel, but it's a ball peen hammer. Like I said, quality's really good on this one, but it doesn't matter. These are just good used tools. I'm gonna do a little, I may put it on the belt sander and clean it up a little bit, and then probably blue this one, because this one's got a lot of casting marks. There is no reason to make that look really nice. This one, put a little effort in it. I think this one will look nice. I guess I probably just blue this side, because if I take any metal off of this, I'll lose the Montgomery Ward's part. Yeah, let's put it on the belt sander for a minute, see what it looks like. right, ladies and gentlemen, I go from one machine to the next just to practice. That's the 2000 grit wheel that I went over. And now I'm just going to go over it and throw polish with the polishing compound. Alright, what I'm going to do now is what I normally do to hammer handles is I am going to take a razor blade and scrape them down. Normally what I do is I just sit there and scrape everything off, the first top layer, and then I go back over it with 220, and that's it. And then when I put them together, I put linseed oil on it, and I don't put any stain on it. I don't lacquer or anything like that. If you put lacquer on it, it seals it, and you don't want to do that because you need the linseed oil to soak in to keep the wood swollen to hold the head on. They put lacquer from the factory on them just to keep them clean, and because everybody touches them, they're handled quite a bit. So I don't know why. I guess just because to clean them, keep them clean. But anyways, let me scrape these down. I'll come back and blue the heads, and well, I might shake these up first before I blue the heads. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got this thing seated. It's hitting hard. I'm afraid I'm gonna bust the bottom end of it out. And I'm afraid to knock it loose because I broke the other one, so I don't want to break. And this one is just a hair. So I'm gonna drive this in there and see how this holds up. Man, nah, shoot. That went in there way too easy. Way too easy. I guess I could punch it and shim it down in there. I think I'm going to go ahead and punch it down and leave it like this. Since I'm using what's left over out of that box, I may have him go buy a couple of handles and just reset it after he uses it for a while. Because I've hit this so hard on the bottom, I got a sharp edge right there. I'm starting to collapse the bottom end, hitting it so much. All right, let me punch this down a little further and we'll blue the rest of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've already screwed this up pretty good, so might as well see what else I can do. I'm gonna go ahead and blue these, both of these hammerheads, or part of it, and anyways, we'll clean carburetor cleaner, and then you can use denatured alcohol. It's what's recommended is denatured alcohol. Personally, I use carburetor cleaner because that's what I use. What it does is it gets the black off. Anything left. I don't know what I'm going to do with this head. Either if he doesn't want it, and if he decides that he doesn't want to buy a hammerhead for it, I'll probably be on the lookout and find a good head or handle. I think handles now for these little ball peens are about 12 bucks. It's probably not worth it, but I mean, even the no-name ball peen hammer, if I can put 12 bucks into it, it's worth it. And this one, I countersunk that thing in there, and it's in there tight. It doesn't wiggle, doesn't move. I just don't know how long that'll last. That is not a good, that's not the way to do it. But that's the way I did it. I cleaned my brush off with carburetor cleaner. It's taking color real well. And I'm just doing the parts that are not blue, that are not polished. And really and truly, it's not going to hurt having the head. This thing, unless you're being an idiot and using the hammer improperly for, you're trying to break concrete or something like that, you shouldn't have a problem. Yes, I do know people use tools like they shouldn't, but that's their problem. They're gonna break it anyways. If it's not set right, they're just gonna make it worse. We'll see. If he wants a new handle, we'll get a new handle and set that other one. And I like using the brush because I can, these little edges that are really kind of curved in, I can use the brush on it. Like this head, that's the reason I went ahead and used this head, because for one, it's old. Montgomery Wards hadn't been around for a long time. That's it. I'll just let it sit for 60 seconds. And if anybody asks, this is the bluing I use. I do have this bluing, and I don't like this bluing. The problem is you got to rinse this off after you put it on. This stuff you just roll white dry and then steel brush it, or steel wool. And this took color good. This one was painted black from the factory. It had a black paint underneath the rust, part of the rust anyways. Ought to be a nice little hammer. I meant for screwing it up. I'll blew this one off camera. Let me go ahead and steel wool this real quick. See, there's the flat side, there's the shiny side. Actually turned out pretty nice. Now, something else you can do, use a brass brush. Get in corners where you can, it won't hurt nothing. Look at that, just using the brass brush. Tell me that don't look good. Don't look bad at all. Now, let me finish this other one. Be right back. All right, blued this one. Looks pretty good. Can't tell if I missed a spot or not, but I guess I didn't. I used the steel wool and the brass brush. Either one, it doesn't matter. To me, it seems to work pretty good. This is old waste oil that came out of my truck. Was using 3-in-1 oil, but I seem to find that this old waste oil works pretty good. It darkens it some more. I wish I had a way to test the color, the darkness, to see if it really does. It looks like it does, and it's one of those things you don't. It's perception maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm doing it. Then I'm gonna oil these down, then take them outside since the sun's shining, and set it in the sun and let them set and warm in the sun. It's probably going to get up to 70 today. It's not as warm as I'd like it to be, but it'll still look pretty good. It'll heat up. Set them out for, I got I gotta go to work. So, oh man, I got oil on the handle already. Look at that. Oh well. Let's since I've already done that, let's just go ahead and put linseed oil on the handle too. Already screwed up, might as well screw up some more, huh? The oil on the handle won't hurt nothing. I need to put some linseed oil on the top. If I'm putting it up here. That soak down in there. All right, I'm gonna take these outside and set them down and or hang them in the sun and see how they turn out. They should be okay. Oh well, this video's got mistakes all through it, so anyways, I show my mistakes. I don't care. If I do it, maybe somebody else won't do it. I'll be back. All right, guys. Sitting out almost 2 days, and I just wiped them off lightly. There was very little residue of oil on it, but man, the handle turned out great. There again, I didn't seat it deep enough, I think. I should have set it down, but this thing is wedged in there tight. And there again, this hammer's not, you're not gonna be breaking concrete with this. This is not what this little 12 ounce probably hammer's designed for. And this is the Ward's, what is that, Ward's Craft or Ward's Master? Ward's Master Quality, excuse me. And look at the finish on the metal. I like it how they finish this at the factory compared to this junk. I mean, I shouldn't say junk. It's finished. It's new. I got my fingerprints on it already. This was not used. You can see a spot where I lightly missed the bluing right there. I see it. But the oil, using that used oil, it definitely darkens it. I don't know, it has to do something with the chemical reaction, has to be. But it looks better if you heat it up. I think it absorbs in the metal, a chemical reaction to the bluing, let's say, because I don't think it actually absorbs into the metal. But I don't know enough, I'm guessing. It doesn't matter. It still looks good. I'm happy the way it turned out. Gives good protection. The bluing is good all around. I like it better than the spray paint. Spray painting would work. I'm not griping about that. The problem I have with the spray painting is your material you have in your toolbox, your drawer liners, especially the cobalt stuff. It sticks to it and leaves these imprinted material on it, and I don't like it. I like the bluing better. The linseed oil turned out great on the handle. I'm gonna have to coat this several more times, once a day for the rest of the week. But the handle's great. It turned out really good. Like I said, I didn't seat it good, or I should say I didn't seat it deep enough, I think. But there's no play, it's not loose. He can use it as it is now, and I'm gonna see if he wants to buy a handle, because I do not, and I screwed that one up. So that was my fault. And I think, I got to looking back at it, I think what I did is I was taking my rubber mallet and I was trying to knock it loose, and I think that's when I broke it. The wood was really hard and dry, so this linseed oil should help it swell up. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. $4 hammer. I mean, I reused I didn't reuse. I used one of these heads that was for a little small claw hammer, and I tried to shape it to work. I should have tried harder to make it fit, but I thought I had it, and of course I didn't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe if you like. Tell me what you think. I got $4, I guess $8 in this, because now he's going to have to buy a handle, probably 10 bucks or so, but it'll still be a good usable hammer. I mean, what can you say? Cheap is cheap. And good used tools, bringing them back to a good usable condition. There you go. All right, guys, y'all have a good day.